Hello, and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast where we watch movies that we haven't seen. I'm Betsy, and with me is my husband, Trent.
Hello, Betsy.
Hello, Trent. So today we are continuing on our adventure of watching all the movies in the Fast and Furious series. And today we will be watching the fourth film, known simply as Fast and Furious.
I prefer when you say Fast and Furious franchise because we love alliteration here. And especially, it is especially good for this particular entry, Fast and Furious. No ands will get in the way of us.
No ands, no thes, no
yes,
nothing.
Yes.
We are in the territory that you've still seen, but I am now, again, lost in the woods. I don't know anything beyond this point, beyond Tokyo Drift.
I've said this before. I have seen this movie once.
One time.
One time. I remember precious few things about it.
Did you see this in the theater?
No, I think it might have been a roommate situation at the time. I honestly do not remember when I saw this, but I know I've seen it once.
Okay. And I've never seen this. I know precious little about it. I know that this movie is where they get the gang back together, as it were, because, again, they figured out that's kind of the secret sauce to these movies.
Yeah, and if it wasn't evident by the end of the last movie, Tokyo Drift, Dom comes back, and it was a big, big deal because, hey, there is a connection in this movie other than the title.
Fact. So, yeah, I know that it's Dom. I know I have to assume Michelle Rodriguez is in it. I have to assume Paul Walker is in it. Does Tyrese show up in this?
Not yet.
Not yet? He comes back in a later one.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, I know he's done other ones.
Fast and Furious basically brings back the main characters from the first one.
Okay.
Because this is not a spoiler because this is the beginning of the entire movie.
Right.
So they're on the run. The crew from the original movie is on the run.
Okay.
Okay. Dom was found out. Dom and his crew were found out. They know it's them. They were doing the carjackings back then.
Yep.
They have a lot of money, so they escape. Yep. They go off and they're in some foreign country.
Oh, we're in another country.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's where we see the crew when the movie opens. Again, I don't know the sequence of events here, but I know that the crew has escaped to another country, and Brian is back working for the cops.
He's a cop again?
Yeah.
Who let him be a cop again?
Hey, you remember what happened in Too Fast, Too Furious? He basically became a cop again to bust some people to clear his record.
But he also took a bunch of money.
Nobody knows about that but him.
And Tyrese.
But yeah, he's a cop again. I mean, he was good at what he did in Too Fast, Too Furious, so hey. But yeah, he is a cop again, and I can't remember if, like, maybe he found out where they were, or maybe he, like,
is in contact with them.
He's in weird contact with them, or maybe something came across his desk and says, "Oh, Letty is in. We spotted Letty in Bogota, or wherever the fuck they are. I don't know." And yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what I remember, other than two words: drug tunnels.
Drug tunnels.
Drug tunnels. That is the extent of what I remember about this movie.
Okay. Part of me wishes we had just watched the trailer, but I'm also kind of absolutely loving the fact that we didn't. Because I just don't remember even the ads for this movie.
Yeah.
All I remember is...
I don't even remember what year it came out. Was that 2008?
I mean, the last one was 2006.
Yeah, Too Fast... Tokyo Drift was 2006.
So yeah, it's probably about 2008.
Would make sense that it was late aughts.
Okay, so 8 or 9 we'll assume. We'll look into it later. But yeah, I was in the middle of college. Yeah. I was not frequenting these films.
No.
I'm sure if I was watching TV, all I was watching was Lost.
Yeah. So, and I wasn't necessarily a fan of the series. I had seen them individually, and what the hell did they do to this franchise to bring everybody back? Because in 2008 or 2009 or whatever it was, the movie industry wasn't about sequelizing everything yet. They weren't trying to make everything into a franchise or a platform or whatever. But they knew they had this thing, and they knew they had these actors who were willing to sign on.
Right. Well, from what you're describing and the fact that the movie is called Fast and Furious, it's like they were trying to remake the original.
They're trying to reboot it.
Well, it sounds like a remake. Just he's a cop again. It's the original group. The movie is called almost exactly the same thing.
Right. Which we've already gone over the naming conventions of this.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So my assumptions about this movie are we're going to start with an action sequence.
Okay.
We have to get some establishing shots for our heroes.
I'm going to venture a guess that there will be some cars.
There's probably going to be some cars, yes. I don't know if they're going to go full bore on the making this an outlandish action movie in this one, or if that literally doesn't happen until 5. If this one is more action, I think this will be more action than the first one.
Yeah, because remember, we're going back to them being on the run, and this isn't them just out on the street doing street racing anymore.
No.
There's no street racing in the rest of this whole series as far as I'm concerned.
No, there's no more races.
No.
It stopped being about a movie about racing
and
becomes a movie about heists and action sequences. So any driving and cars that happen is getaway.
They're just using their skills that they learn on the streets.
On the streets! When are they gonna make Fast and Furious? The streets!
That's the series that comes after F10.
F10.
Yeah.
10.
10. No, God, what are they going to call that one? FF10?
Yeah, and of course, I think we're still a little early before they start introducing more and more and more people.
Yeah.
Like John Cena shows up eventually, The Rock, and Jason Statham.
The Rock comes in with 5, and I think that is just the beginning of them just going full bore. Let's bring everybody that we can from the previous however many movies there's been, and then bring in a bunch of other action stars.
It becomes the Expendables.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So,
anywho, that's it. So we have really no idea what we're getting into.
Yeah.
So we're going to go watch Fast and Furious, and we will be right back. Back. So we just watched number 4, Fast and Furious. Trent, did you remember this movie?
I did.
As you were watching it?
Yeah, the more it went down, the more I remembered. So the thing I kind of forgot was the kind of red herring, the Braga.
Yep.
Or the
twist.
Yeah, the twist. I kind of forgot about the twist. It was basically as soon as I saw his face.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute. This guy, I know this guy's face. And then as soon as Brian was like sneaking around and looked through the crack in the door and saw them having a drink together, and I remembered, oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
so they set up that there's this old man who is supposed to be the drug lord, Braga. And they're basically telling you then and there things are not what they appear, but you don't know that yet. Yep. You have to get to the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I've seen so many movies, and as I kind of thought this one might be, it was just a little predictable for the kind of movie it is, especially when you're talking about drug lords. It seems like every other movie we're going to do drug lord stuff. But I did have the thought, I was like, is this like one of those Kaiser Sose moments where the guy is right in front of us? Is it Gal Gadot? Who is it? I kind of had a suspicion that it might not be as, big MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It's a distraction if it's anything.
This movie is not unique.
It's drugs and revenge.
Yeah. And cars.
And cars.
And, I think the only thing that really makes this a special kind of a movie is that it brings Brian into the family.
Yeah.
Brian, at the beginning of the movie, is an FBI cop. He's not a cop. He's a federal cop.
Right, because he was just an LA detective in the first one, yeah?
Yeah, he was trying,
working with the FBI.
He was working with the FBI to bring down Dom and his organization, or bring down whoever was jacking those trucks.
Right.
They didn't know it was Dom in the first place,
no,
but
he was a person
he had
of
a
interest.
suspicion.
Yeah.
Exactly. He wanted to get into that world because they knew he was somebody in the street racing world.
Right. So now 5 years later,
yeah, 5 years
is in
later,
the FBI.
His record is cleared after Too Fast, Too Furious, and the FBI recruits him to work on this drug cartel thing.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 years, like you said. Now, I made a note saying, again, I don't know what happens after Fast 5. Maybe they go back in time and they find out what's going on in the 5 years in between.
Oh, yes. I have a feeling just based on, Han showing up right away in this movie. And then Michelle Rodriguez, for Letty to die in this movie but be in later movies, there's going to be a lot of retcon happening.
There's some fuckery happening here.
There's so... I have to think... There was no game plan. I think they wanted to make this fourth one, and then they decided, well, shit, the thing that people love, once again, is the whole group. So we need the whole group. Yeah. So they
Nobody can die. Nobody can die.
Right. It was all a dream. Maybe that's what we'll find out when we get into the later ones. Episode 4 was just a dream.
Right. And again, I don't really know what they're going to do in 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. I don't have a clue. Mm-hmm. I didn't really pay attention to any of the coverage of those movies. I have not seen anything of them other than maybe a trailer here and there.
Yep.
It's not like that I wasn't interested in seeing them at all. It's just, time in my life, I wasn't really seeing a lot of those movies.
You had better things to do.
Yeah.
You weren't spending the time.
No.
Yeah, so I get the sense that here on out, it's going to start getting confusing. I'm sure if we looked into the definitive timeline of the Fast and Furious...
I kind of don't want to even look at that until we're done.
No, we won't look at that until it's finished, but just based on the fact we started in Tokyo, and we have now since gone back in time because Han is in the very first scene of this movie eating. Yep.
I made sure to point that out, and I also said in the last episode, hey, you're going to be seeing Han again because this is people's favorite character.
Right, and he mentions Tokyo and then he's not in the rest of the movie. So they're like, quick.
They're doing some crazy shit out in Tokyo.
Yep, quick, throw some dialogue in to justify him being here and justify him leaving.
And one of the things that I wrote down was Han just being there legitimized the third movie.
Yep.
They put him in. He is a character. And that's discounting the fact that Dom was at the end of Fast 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Han being put into this movie put him in the canon. He is, it's not like the third one was just a throwaway, who the fuck cares. No. Han is a real character. That movie really happened. It makes logical sense that he would be there.
There's a connection.
There is a connection there. And... who knows? We might be seeing another character or two from that movie later on in the series.
Well, and as I understand it, this is not Han's last appearance.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, this is going to be really confusing moving forward as far as where the hell we are in time. Because have you ever seen a movie where they just straight up kill off characters and then justify bringing them back? They just did it with Han.
It's called a soap opera.
I know they're doing it with Michelle Rodriguez. Okay, honestly, for at least part of this movie, I was like, okay, they pick up the phone, Letty's been murdered. Letty's been murdered, but you don't see it.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I was like, is this going to be one of those where she's actually been, kidnapped or something? And, we're going to find out. We're going to find out she faked her death or something.
Yeah, and they're going to retcon the guy who says that he murdered him. Maybe he was doing that to get under Dom's skin.
Right, so it's one of those things where if you don't see it happen on screen, there is a justifiable assumption, at least in movie world, world.
We saw Game of Thrones. We know how that works.
That it didn't really happen. So for part of this movie, I was like, is she really dead? Because she comes back in other movies. But then they have a scene, and they show it multiple times. Here she is, dying. Now, they didn't show her dying, but they give you enough.
No, that's what Dom thinks happened.
Right.
This is how he's depicting it happening. It didn't necessarily happen because we didn't see it happen in real time.
Right. All we're seeing is other people's interpretations of how she died.
Yeah.
And we never see a body in a casket.
Uh-huh.
All we hear is, Letty was murdered.
Yeah. I'm going to leave. I could say one more thing about how Han died, but I'm going to leave it there.
Right. So we'll I'm sure things will make more sense in the next one. But what I'm just trying to figure out is the next one after this one, before this one, before this one. Who knows?
Yeah, I think if I remember right, 5 is just the main crew plus they add in some people.
Right.
This is where they're starting to add to the
Add some
crew.
star power.
Yeah, they're going to add to the crew because in the 5th one, The Rock is a cop going after the group.
Right. Wait a second.
Yeah.
A cop?
He's a cop.
Going after the group? Yeah, that was one thing. I was watching this movie thinking, they sort of took some elements from Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
And sort of reimagined that movie in a different context. Like, they literally could have just done to Dom for his timeline, for his storyline. They could have just taken the same thing where he gets busted and they use it as leverage.
Yeah, he gets recruited to go after this other guy.
Yeah, we could have done that.
Yeah, it's a marriage between the first one and the second one.
Yes, but instead, we murdered somebody. We murdered his lady, and now it's a cold-blooded tale of revenge.
Exactly. In Mexico.
Yeah,
drug tunnels.
Yeah. Drug tunnels. I was very disappointed. You said drug tunnels. I was like, are the tunnels made of drugs? But they were not. They're just boring tunnels.
No, I remember like hearing about this movie at the time. They were like hyping up the tunnels. They only appear in 2 different scenes.
I mean, it's the climax of the movie. That's the big scene at the end of the movie is a race through these tunnels. And I'll give you, that was a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
As far as action sequences go, certainly there was a lot of computer animation involved there.
Sure.
Because you can't film that. That's not possible. You can't film.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous to do an actual driving through tunnels and expect there not to be a cave-in and horrible things happen.
No, I'm going to say something really nice about this movie.
Okay.
The plot, who the fuck cares?
Right.
It's a reason for the franchise to continue.
Right.
They get the band back together. They get Brian in there to be a cop again. Like, basically redo 1 and 2. This could have been the sequel.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
Yeah.
This could have been just the sequel. Too Fast, Too Furious didn't happen, whatever.
Let's pretend 2 and 3 didn't happen.
Right. But they did. So that all being said, the nice thing I was going to say is this was shot really, really well. Mm-hmm. There's actual cinematography here. There are great tracking shots. There's great lighting. The lighting is great. Mm-hmm. Because in 2, everything is in the day.
Yep.
It's Miami. It's sunny everywhere.
Yeah.
The one scene that I remember at night was when they were going after the muscle cars. Mm-hmm. In LA, it's mostly, well, it's maybe about half and half.
Yeah.
But it's either day or night. There's not a lot of extra lighting. In this movie, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So whoever shot this movie, props.
Justin Lin.
Was he the cinematographer?
Well, he's the director
of
Tokyo Drift.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's a big upgrade from the previous 3 movies.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
It's bringing it into the digital age because I'd be willing to bet the first one was filmed on film.
Yeah.
After that, they probably started going more digital, but this one was most definitely filmed entirely on digital.
Yeah. You mentioned CG, and I wrote in my notes that at the very beginning scene of all of them going after the fuel truck.
Yep.
It's hearkening back to the first one of them pulling a job.
It's the same maneuver. They have the same plan wherever they are.
Yep. And I wrote down and said, well, so much for no CG when Dom and Letty were in the car, and the fuel truck is rolling towards them.
The flaming disaster.
Exploding as it's rolling
They
towards them.
did that for real, Trent. Come on. Vin Diesel drove the car under the rolling petroleum tank.
Yes. Again, it's just kind of a stupid thing that gets the crowd going and into the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an action scene, like I predicted, to start and kick off the movie.
Totally.
Yeah, and most of the action sequences, again, are practical. They are actual cars smashing each other up, racing around the road, etc.
And they held back a little bit until they got to the race scene where they were competing to be in a slot.
Again, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes,
We're going to test drive you.
Yeah. Winner gets to be on the crew.
You get the gig.
But at the end of the thing, they're all going to be shot and killed.
Right.
Which is exactly what was going to happen in Too Fast. And yeah. Yeah. This is just a combination of 1 and 2.
Right.
So. And there's nothing necessarily wrong about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, they basically remade the first Star Wars trilogy for 7, 8, 9.
Fair enough. Or at least the first one.
So,
if not all of them. Star Wars reference.
We
cannot help ourselves.
We cannot help ourselves, guys. We like Star Wars, and that's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah, so the plot, it kind of just felt like they were piecing together things we've already seen for these movies. All right, let's talk about that sequence, though. So they're all having this race, and they aren't going to close down traffic. They have to drive to this location through traffic, and they have sexy lady GPS. Why the GPS? What was the point of the GPS?
I yelled during the movie, hey, remember bad GPS?
Seriously.
Yeah.
And that was like the most animation in the whole movie. Like that was an intricate GPS. Were they trying to make you feel like it's a video game? Was this like the Grand Theft Auto kind of nod?
It's possible. It was about that era. Remember The Italian Job?
Yeah.
Where Seth Green's character made this animation. It's around the same time. I think that came out in 2008.
It's a little earlier.
And this came out in 2009.
Yep.
So that was kind of in vogue back then, where if you could do a scene like that, you would.
Yeah.
It was back when GPSs were getting very mainstream, and the joke about them was that recalculating your route.
Turn right, turn left. You're 2 miles from your destination.
Make a U-turn when possible.
Yep.
You know,
and then
it was jokes like that. It was just kind of lazy.
Right. And then he yells, "Sorry, car."
Sorry, car.
He apologizes to the car to get himself back en route. That was probably the single dumbest moment in this entire movie.
Yeah. I want to say unintentionally dumb, but... No, it's really dumb.
Oh, no. So I have fully invested myself in the fact that these movies are written...
self-aware.
They know their audience.
Yeah.
They know their audience. One thing I've picked up on in every single movie, have you noticed there's always a party sequence, and there's pretty much always girls making out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
there was a lot in this one.
There was a lot in this one. And if that is not meant for the, horny teenage boys who are watching this movie and all the rest of them, that is not for the entire populace. No. These little elements are for the very core group of people this movie's meant for. Yep. But yeah, these movies are not dialogue heavy. They are not written like I could write a Fast and Furious movie. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna just go do it before the next one, and I'll bet the writing will be just as good as anything we are gonna see in the next 5.
Yeah. Of course, we got a whole lot of NOS.
Yep.
Not only the NOS actual nitrous...
tanks.
Yeah, not only the NOS tanks, but you also now have the NOS energy drink.
Yeah, they had if that was the product placement I noticed was the NOS energy drink.
The only one that was like in your face, like, hey, drink NOS, guys.
Yep, I saw on... I don't remember which part. They were driving around, and there was a big, like, billboard size, like, 4-foot cardboard can on a wall.
The first one I saw was when Brian's chasing that dude.
Yeah.
in the streets of wherever
Yep.
he was.
So there's a big one on the wall, and then he's drinking it. When he ditches the tracking device, he shoves it in an open can of NOS. Also, that tracking device really pissed me off. Like, who has a little light and it beeps, and he's got it in the fucking car.
Yeah.
It's in the car with him.
Yeah, that's the FBI for you.
Oh, good God. Yeah. But, put it in the conveniently located can of NOS, and that will kill it.
Yeah. I also saw, I think, man, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but there was a helicopter shot somewhere.
Yep.
I saw like half of a billboard of an ad for the Simpsons movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah, which I don't know if this is the same company or not. This is Universal. So I don't know if it's the same production company or not. But I did see an ad for the Simpsons movie, which would have come out around the same time.
No, it is because Universal Studios, like if you were to go to Universal Studios, there's a whole Simpsons thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get that movie advertisement out, even if it's only for a second.
Just subliminal. Hey, go see the Simpsons movie.
That's right. Go see the Simpsons movie.
And I'll just say, NOS has made so much money because of these movies. They are a thing because of these movies.
Yep.
We were just on a road trip last weekend, and we happened to see in a gas station a big NOS energy drink in the cooler.
We did. Yeah, we did, Trent.
Still, 2021, they are still a thing.
That's because they keep making these movies and they keep talking about it. I don't know.
We'll see if they're going to be in the subsequent ones.
Right. They didn't even talk about it, but they were there. Like, they all had them. They didn't mention it by name, I don't think, but they turn it on and use it.
Yeah.
And he blows up his car by opening it up and then starting the cigarette lighter in his classic muscle car. Remember those, Trent?
I do.
Remember that? When that was in every car?
I do. I do remember those quite vividly.
Yeah. Also, hey, remember when Groot and Wonder Woman made a movie together?
Crossover. Name a more iconic crossover.
Well, yeah, this movie was 2009, so I did look that up. You were right, 2009. So we're nearly 10 years before Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So this was probably Gal Gadot's one of her first major projects.
Yeah.
And of course here, she's sort of a nondescript culture. She's basically speaking...
She's all cultures.
Yeah, she's speaking in her normal accent, but she's a Mexican ?
Maybe.
'Cause drugs?
Because speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanglish.
Right. And she doesn't have a whole lot to do here. She's sort of the pretty girl who flirts with Dom.
Yeah, she's sitting there to be pretty while Dom is in mourning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. She doesn't get her way. I'm really glad because I think it
would have been
really...
That would have been shitty if they wrote Dom to go after another woman.
Yeah, it would have been really disrespectful to Letty.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so she just kind of is there, but she's sort of a good guy, but she's sort of a bad guy.
Well, she gets converted to being a, quote, good guy when fucking Braga tries to run her over.
Is that who was driving that car?
He wasn't driving, but what's his name?
He was in the vehicle?
Yeah, the other guy was driving. Phoenix, that's his name, yeah.
With the Mr. T Mohawk.
Yeah.
In his stupid ass car. Dom straight up killed that guy.
So, that was the other thing I wrote at the very end. There is a lot of death in this movie. Yeah. A lot of people die.
Yeah. More so
think
than
about
the other ones.
Think about how many people died in the first 3 movies.
Yeah, not too many. 1.
So, Jesse
dies in the first one.
Dies in the first one.
I don't think anybody dies in the second one.
No.
Well, no, at the end of the first one, the Chinese guys who kill Jesse, or at least one of them dies. There's the big chase scene at the end on the motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the main dude. I don't know if they actually show him being dead.
I mean, he looked pretty dead to me.
I know he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely got shot.
They get him.
Yeah.
Maybe
let's just call that one a death.
Okay. Maybe it's left a little open-ended.
So maybe 2 in the first one.
Right.
I don't think anybody dies in the second one.
Not that I can remember.
No.
No, I mean there's some wrecks and things,
Sure. None of that is depicted.
but no.
Uh,
And then
Han dies.
dies in the third one.
Man, I think that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, this one, you've literally got Brian picking up a machine gun and he just starts leveling people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is getting dark. This,
Yeah.
I will tell you, this one was kind of dark.
Uh-huh.
It's not an uplifting film.
No.
No, it's
dirty.
It's dirty and dark, and it's a revenge movie, and Dom is really upset the whole time, and that's his whole motivation.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So we go from, it's a car movie, it's a racing movie in the first one
Yep.
with some light police drama.
Right.
We've got, kind of a fun Miami romp in the second
Drug.
one.
Cartel.
Yeah, cartel movie, cop thing. Third movie, it's a stranger in the strange land learning a new skill,
Yep.
and it's boy wins the girl in the end. There's a little bit of romance, and there's a little bit of romance in the first one too. But yeah, this one is just almost a straight up revenge tale.
Yeah. If I was going to call it anything. And then, as I understand it, we start getting into the heist.
Yes, and I was just going to say,
Genre.
the fifth one is a straight-up heist movie. I get so many feelings about the Italian Job watching Fast Five.
Okay.
I think you'll really like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Because, hey, the new Italian Job, I never seen the original Italian Job. But
neither.
the 2008 one with Mark Wahlberg and Jason Statham
That's right.
is fantastic.
And Seth Green.
And Seth Green, of course.
Lest we forget Seth Green.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see the next one just because I want these movies to have more humor. Like, if you just literally start making these, like, action comedies.
Yeah, I want it to be fun.
I want these to be action comedies. Here out. I don't want none of this sad drama. I want Han to show up and eat his salty snacks. And I want, Jason Statham and The Rock to make some quips.
Yep.
And I want, I don't know. I want some goober who knows tech to come and tell me all the things I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want from these movies. I don't want dark revenge tales.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will be very, very interested to see how they change this story, because just having watched 3 and 4 and knowing that there's so many more to come, I have no idea how you're gonna do that.
Yeah. They have to ramp it up so much.
Right.
And I don't really think the first half of 5 is that hyped. The last half of 5 is very much bonkers.
I'm sure.
Action movie.
I'm sure.
The rest of them, I don't have a clue. I mean, I won't say that, but I do know that they go to some crazy lengths in the subsequent movies.
Is this the one where they're like driving cars out of an airplane?
That's later.
That's later.
That's
Is
later.
that 6 or
That's
7?
like 6 or 7.
If I have any recollection, it's seeing the commercials where they are driving cars out of the back of an airplane as it is flying.
Yep.
I don't know why. I will find out eventually. Yeah. So I would say overall, this one was okay. It was all right. I think I was a little bored at some points. Again, I think it took a little too much from other things that we've already seen and done.
I think it was a necessary step for them to get to where they wanted the series to go.
I guess. Except I don't even think they knew where they wanted the series to go, because they're out here killing off main characters and then backtracking.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But some other plot points that I wrote down. When Braga was hitting his golf balls and they were all lined up to meet Braga, and they didn't even know he was Braga at the time.
Yes.
But when they were all lined up to say, "Hey, here's your next your task. You're gonna race to see who's gonna be on my team."
Here's some exposition.
Yeah. Him standing there saying, "You know what? This isn't you just having a 10-second car and driving in the straight line, guys. You're going to need to actually turn your wheel and drive through traffic." And then one of the dudes who is trying out asks, "So who's going to close the streets?" What are you talking about? Streets are not going to be closed.
No.
Yeah, that's a characterization of a dude from the first movie
Right.
who loves drag racing, but nothing else.
So what you're telling me is that is the stand-in for our rapper that we were missing from this movie.
No. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, basically what I'm saying...
He's the viewer from the first movie.
He's anybody who really, really, really likes the first movie.
Yeah.
And only likes the drag racing. And it's like, no, that's kiddie shit. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, we've grown up from that.
Yeah.
This is a different kind of movie.
Yeah, this is the big leagues, guys.
Right.
So, yeah, it's basically a fuck you to the first movie. Mm-hmm. We're done with this drag racing stuff. You guys need to be able to be good drivers and not just, hey, I can shift faster than you can shift.
And hit Manas, and here we go.
Exactly.
Whee!
Exactly.
Vroom, vroom.
Also, Brian still hasn't beaten Dom.
No. Nope.
He cheated.
You know that.
But he still hasn't beat him.
You know that's coming, right? It's got to be coming. Is that look at the end of Fast 8? Is that what that look is? We'll see.
I don't know. But yeah, so some things that I didn't really like.
Okay.
Dom, after they race and they go through the tunnels, they have all this they have all these drugs. Dom is treating Brian like he isn't a cop. Dom knows that Brian is a cop.
And he hasn't forgiven him.
And he hasn't forgiven him for any of the stuff that he's done. But he's going about his day like Brian can't just arrest him.
Right.
And I know that he thinks that Brian isn't going to arrest him because when he had the guy by his ankles hanging out the window,
right,
Brian could have busted him there. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't. He absolutely knows that Brian is a cop and can arrest him at any time.
Well, and he already didn't arrest him once.
I know that. So that was just kind of weird. Like, he was just kind of going along with everything. Maybe because he was blinded by revenge rage. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of weird to have that kind of back and forth relationship.
Well, and then...
like nothing ever happened.
And then, of course, there's the scene later where Brian is talking to Mia and she wants to know why he let him go.
Yeah.
And he says it's because I respected him more than I respected myself. And he talks about how he's got a code. He may be a, quote, bad guy, but he's not a bad guy.
Yeah. He's a bad guy trying to be a good guy.
Yep. And then Brian keeps basically making the choice to be a good guy who's a bad guy.
Right. And, like, he does bad shit in that entire movie. Like, he hides the drugs in the impound lot.
They snake a car.
Right.
He makes all these terrible choices. The FBI agent says, what's the difference between a cop and a criminal?
Yeah, one bad judgment call.
One bad judgment call.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe he's gonna make that bad judgment call, but he's not a bad guy.
But he does at the end of this movie,
right.
Which is, hey, not a prison break, but a prison bus break.
Yep.
We are made to believe that they are going to rescue Dom from this bus that is inbound to a prison.
He's not going
after
to jail.
He gets tried and convicted and sent to 25 to life.
Yeah. For what?
For what?
He didn't murder a guy.
That's the fucking sentence for murder.
Okay, sorry, he did kind of murder a guy.
Well, he did, but he did it in revenge self-defense.
Also, how is Brian not being tried as an accomplice in that murder?
Right. I have no idea how Brian...
Self-defense, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how Brian gets away with... Maybe he is not actually going to get away with it, and maybe that's why he... Let's just say he quits the FBI.
Again.
Yeah. He probably knows that he's not going to get away with it. At least he's going to be demoted and not doing what he wants to do anymore. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I have a feeling that wasn't going to go over very well.
Right. Would you consider this to be, as far as anti-heroes, would you call these people anti-heroes?
Oh, yeah. Dom is totally an anti-hero.
Like, they're not villains?
Well, like in the
but they're not...
in the first one, when the sergeant was like telling him, I can't remember how he describes him, but he lays out all the photos of the dude that
Yeah.
he beat the shit out of with a torque wrench.
He almost killed him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a model of self-control, I think is what he says.
Yep.
And you don't really see that because he is all internal. He doesn't say much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're certainly no heroes. These are not heroes, but the people who like these movies, they're their heroes.
Again, in the first one, they say, yeah, Dom was just like gravity. Everybody just surrounds him and they follow him everywhere that he goes, and he's got this plan, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. But
I see why they keep making them. Like, they're not bad movies. They're not.
No.
They ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Like, I got a little bored in this one, a little confused, because again, it's just such like a loose plot half the time.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be tighter. I want there to be like no strings. I don't want there to be any confusion. I want them to be like, it's okay to go the easy route, but at least make it
as
coherent.
long as you're going somewhere.
As long as it's coherent and I can understand where it is we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and some of these have faltered a little bit because I'm just like, wait, what's happening here? Who's that guy? Why do I care?
Yeah. And again, I've only seen one more after this, but I think it does get better in that regard.
By all accounts, and I have read this and I have heard this from other people, the next one is the best one in the series.
Yeah.
Just full stop. I don't know why. That is just the opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. Well, and I did actually put out some feelers. So at the end of our last episode, we were talking about Tokyo Drift and how some people really, really like this movie. And
Divisive.
how some people
Divisive.
really, really hate this movie. And we actually did get some feedback from some people specifically about Tokyo Drift. So we posed the question of which camp are they in and why. And I got one response. Donnie said, I'm a massive fan of the Fast films. I do not count Tokyo Drift when I say this. It's the weird uncle. Yeah, I get that.
He's a part of your family, but you don't really acknowledge him.
Right.
He's like, he'll give you a card on your birthday, but you don't actually want him to come to your party.
Yeah, and until this one, 4, where they throw Han in at the beginning, this movie has nothing to do with it. And Han is the glue to Tokyo Drift. Without Han and bringing him and making him more character in other movies...
It may as well have not even happened.
Right. So there's one person who's in the... No, I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Rick said, it feels like a straight-to-DVD movie, and I can never remember if it was or not. It is also the only one that's about actual races. It's just like, yeah, it does feel a little like what we were talking about, the straight-to-DVD sequels for American Pie.
Yep.
Like, it's sort of tied to it, but kind of has nothing to do with it.
You might throw in one character or two to remind you of the good ones, but that's about it. There's not a lot of meat there.
Right. Here's one in the I'm a fan camp. So Kelsey said, the sheer ridiculousness of it makes it my favorite of all the Fast and Furious movies. The acting is terrible, the plot line is nothing, but there are races, and it introduces my favorite character of the franchise, Han.
There you go.
So she's in the Han camp.
Honesty.
So yeah, a mixed bag. I think a lot, like, that's kind of a hate-loving thing, and I can appreciate that.
Totally.
Loving it because it's so bad.
And I wish it had more of that. That's why I said that last time. Like, I wish it was so bad that it's great, because I have movies in my history that I would classify as that. I don't think it's bad.
It needs to be worse.
I don't think it's good. It needed to go further down the camp road for me.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Shoot 'Em Up?
No.
Shoot 'Em Up is like the campiest trash you'll ever see.
You've wanted me to watch this for a while. Yeah.
It is a live action Looney Tunes cartoon, but it's an action movie. It's ridiculous. But it knows it's ridiculous, and that's why I like it.
Those are the best
ones. So
ones.
yeah, I think if more of these movies in this series knew that they were ridiculous and stopped trying to be cool guys with cool cars. You are ridiculous movies. Be ridiculous. I will respect you more for it.
And I'm hoping that that's where we get to.
I hope so. And we've got a new one coming out sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Okay, I've got one more here. Danny had a little bit of a correction, if you will. Getting pedantic here, but it is technically a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Evo is just a nickname. I did not know that. So thank you, Danny. So we had referred to the Evo that he drives.
Well, that's what they
refer call it.
To it in the second one. Brian is driving an Evo in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yep. And then we had posed the question, Bow Wow's character is called Twinkie.
Yes.
Which is a very strange name, and I did not understand it. And Danny further says, Bow Wow is Twinkie because of a weird Asian stereotype thing. Twinkie was originally supposed to be an Asian that acts white. Kind of like how Oreo is a term for black people who act white. Twinkie, yellow outside, white inside.
Oh.
Yeah. So the name actually makes a whole lot of sense if it had been cast differently.
Yeah.
But because they changed
But you needed to get another
was,
2000s rapper in here.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so this was one thing I did just go look. So the guy you pointed out in the race who's like, who's going to clear the streets?
Yeah.
I knew I had recognized him from something.
Okay.
And I didn't know what, so I looked him up. He was in Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
And in Tropic Thunder, he plays a rapper who is an actor.
Oh, God.
So even though we didn't get a rapper, we did get a guy that I only know from one other thing where he played a rapper.
Bring back Ludacris.
Does he come back?
Yes.
I was going to say, I was
Yes.
like, I think Ludacris does return to this franchise. But yeah, so there you go. If you guys have some thoughts about this one that we just finished watching, Fast and Furious, let's hear those. I know we're getting kind of in the middle of the series, and I'm sure people will have lots of feedback about 5, but I don't really, again, know anybody who has a lot of thoughts and feelings about 4.
Yeah.
So if you've got some, share them.
And I have a feeling that the sentiment is going to be very similar to us. Like, I don't see how anybody would love this movie for any reason whatsoever. No. It's fine. It's a good entry in the series. Yeah. If for nothing else, it brings everything together. It marries the first 2 movies very well. It links it to the third movie, and it clears a path for what is to come.
Yeah.
That's about all it was. It's just a vehicle for future endeavors.
Wait a second, Trent. You making car puns?
Yeah.
How dare you?
So, we're gonna get out of here, but if you want to reach out and say whatever you want to say about this movie, about 5, about any of the series,
6, 7, 8,
whatever,
9,
whatever,
and a half.
Send us an email, neverseenit_pod@gmail.com, or follow us at neverseenitpod on Twitter. Also, throw us a couple of bucks if you want. Go to the link in your podcast app. There's a link there for supporting us on anchor.fm. So if you want to throw us a couple of bucks, feel free. Until we hit you up for the 5th in the series, this has been Never Seen It. My name is Trent.
I'm Betsy.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.